Hi, everybody. We're going to be looking at polynomials, and we're going to start with polynomial vocabulary. I have not previewed this one, so it's going to be a surprise. Let's take a look and see what they want. We're probably going to be talking about terms and degrees. So we want to name the number of terms. This is all multiplication. There's no addition or subtraction going on. So it has one term, and we say that this one has one. Because there's no addition going on. You'll see in a minute what I mean. I don't want to overkill it here right to start. Now this one has three terms because there's three things being added together. This is called a second degree term, a first degree term, and a 0 degree term. Now be careful. If you can add them together, 2x, for example, plus 3x, this only really has one term because it can be simplified to 5x. So be careful. This one has three terms because these cannot be added together. So this has three. What? Oh, God, it said degree. Sorry, guys. I said it was a second degree. I can't see very well, so better answer the question. Okay, degree is the highest exponent that you see. One way to think of this is the number of variables being multiplied together. In this first term, we have 6 times j times j times j times j, and so on. There are 10 j's being multiplied together. This second term has 7 j's being multiplied together. The degree is always the highest number, so this is a 10th degree. Nothing like getting the second one wrong. All right, this is the number of terms. Now we've got it. So this one is a third degree, a second degree, and a first degree. But there are three things being added together. So there are three terms in this polynomial. That's what I get for not previewing, huh? All right, this is the number of terms again. And again, we need to be careful and make sure that the degree is different every time. By the way, this is called a 0 degree term or a constant term, that 2 at the end. This has three terms in the polynomial. Well, the nice thing is that this one's going to go very quickly, I suspect. The number of terms is 1. Okay, so this time it's the number of terms and the degree. So there is one term, nothing else being added to it, and it is a 5th degree. The highest exponent is a 5. 1 and 1. Even though you don't see it, there really is a 1 here on the z, so that's why it's a first degree. So this is one term and 1 degree. We sometimes call that a linear polynomial. Now this one has a second degree and it has 2 terms. This one has 1 term and it's second degree. I just want to make sure that you know the definition. Now what gets confusing is when you have mixed variables. In this case, we just have one single variable, so it's easy. It's just the highest exponent is 10. That's the degree. And I'll bet you can tell me how many terms are there. There are 3. Two terms and third degree. One of the reasons for talking about the degree of a polynomial is that it tells you the number of possible solutions. For this equation, if this were an equation, this is actually what we call an expression. Polynomials are generally always expressions, and this is negative 6x to the first minus 3. A lot of times standard form polynomials are put equal to 0, and there is only one solution to this equation. It happens to be negative 1/2. This one solution is one of the ways of describing the degree as the number of possible solutions. So anyway, This has two terms and first degree. And we sometimes call this a linear expression or first degree polynomial. Okay, I just needed to make sure. Now this one is not in what we call descending order, which is the standard. Normally what we do is we write the degree as it goes down. So we would normally write this 3c to the 6th minus 2c cubed minus 5c squared. We say that this is in descending order because the degrees are going down. It is a 6th degree polynomial, and we say that it's a trinomial because it has three terms. Tri meaning three, of course. Oh, there we go. Okay, again, I'm writing this in descending order. We have u to the 3rd plus u squared minus 6u minus 7. And this is a 3rd degree polynomial. We don't call it a quadnomial, even though it seems reasonable. It does have 4 terms, and it is a 3rd degree. Classify this polynomial. This is a linear because it's to the 1st degree. This one is a 4th degree. Now, it happens to be a binomial because it has 2 terms. Bi meaning 2. So this is called a binomial. This one is none of those because a trinomial has 3 terms, a monomial has 1 term, a binomial has 2 terms, so it's none of these because it has 4 terms. It's just called a polynomial. Now this one is a binomial because it has 2 terms. It's also called a quadratic. Quad seems to indicate 4, but a quadratic just indicates that you have a 2nd degree polynomial. And one way to think of it is it's because it has a square, and that's a quadrilateral. So this negative 2m squared is could be represented with a rectangle, negative 2m and m. Anyway, hopefully that makes sense to you. But this one happens to be a binomial because it has 2 terms, not because it's 2nd degree. This one, of course, is a polynomial, and it has lots of terms. Now be careful, sometimes they can be reduced, but this one can't. It has 4 terms, so it's none of those. Come on. Oh, don't tell me I'm going to get lagged today. Not right now. I want to finish. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Maybe if I tap on it. Oh, man. I hate it when that happens. All right, guys. Looks like I might be. Let me try reloading. Maybe it'll. There we go. I should have probably paused it. Okay, we're getting there. Here we go. Polynomial. This is an 8th degree. Be careful, it's not written normally. It is a binomial. It only has 2 terms. I'm going to hurry because I seem to be. This one is a cubic because it has a cube in it. A cube looks like this, doesn't it? Well, if this is t by t by t, we say that that is a t cubed. So that's why we call it a cubic. It's to the 3rd power. The length times width times height gives us t to the 3rd. And this volume of this cube is t cubed. It's a cubic. Binomial. This one is a quadratic. I know that's confusing. Remember, it has a squared term in it. That u is being squared, so it's called a quadratic. And this one is a monomial because it only has 1 term. Lots of vocabulary here. This is a trinomial because it has 3 terms. And we're getting there. This one is a monomial, but it's also linear because it has a first degree monomial. That's a 1 up there. Sorry, it's funky looking. And this one is linear as well. And this one is a monomial. And we have one last one, and then we're done. And it is a monomial. And I hope you guys will do yours as well and do your vocabulary. So I'll see you back. Bye, guys.